Welcome everyone back to the Frank for Famous channel. Today we are going to be talking about some depressing topics, especially on my side. What I'm going to do right now, because I'm not really in the best mood to talk, I'm going to let Archie talk and introduce himself a little bit further to you guys, so you guys can get to know him and what he stands for. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Archie.
Hey, what's up, Frank? Thank you so much. Liverpool fan, lifeline. I've known Frank for years, both from Ghana guys. You know, we are on the west coast of the United States, California, Bay Area. And today I'm not happy with my team, but I see some light at the tunnel.
No.
But right now, today, I'm going to be on you about this Frank Lampard stuff. I don't know why you depressed.
So I'm depressed because when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do is look at your club and see, especially after getting a win and moving forward in the FA Cup, you're excited to see if we can keep that momentum until we play against Wolves. So you're waiting to get the news of what's going on further in the club. But to wake up in the morning and to see that Lampard has been sacked, it hurts because I really felt like he didn't get an opportunity or longer enough opportunity to fulfill his dream of taking this team to the top. It was very difficult because there was 3 more games I believe that he could turn this around, that he could get these players playing at their full potential, or gaining that momentum. I mean, you had the opportunity to see Mason Mount, who is a academy player. I mean, who would have thought that he would be captaining the team at this young of an age? And he showed us a lot by wearing that badge and his performance. Even though that was a championship team, he showed us his leadership, and this is a special moment that Frank Lampard was able to give to his understudy in Mason Mount. And I believe this was going to really resonate throughout the team.
But let me ask you this way, though. Okay, first, we know who we're dealing with. This is Uncle Abram. This uncle of yours, you know he has no patience. As much as I believe that he gave Frank a little bit more time than he normally give other coaches. But what do you think made him pull the trigger? That is the question that I think everybody wants to know.
I believe, my opinion of what I thought made him pull the trigger. Abramovich pulls the trigger quickly. He's known for that.
Right.
He relatively doesn't keep managers around for about 2 to 3 years. After 2 3 years, the ideas of the manager starts to go somewhat to shit, and time for him to move on to the next, because we have seen results every single time we have moved on to a new manager. History has repeated itself. I believe he saw that Frank Lampard ideas weren't being actually portrayed through the players, because he would be continuously questioned about who are your best players, who is your starting lineup, who are your attackers, who can you go to for the big games. And Frank Lampard didn't really have a concrete answer to that. And I think that really bothered him, because they know the money that came in to bring these players. You can't start up and then start going down, because then the biggest thing they're going to see is it's going to continue to be a downward style from here. I believe the game versus Luton, seeing him win was what he thought would be the best way to send him off, which as a Chelsea fan, to me was just bullock. I mean, give him an opportunity to get back into the Premier League and perform. Let's see if these players have actually waking up and now are ready to get some momentum started. And he didn't give him the opportunity. And Abramovich is known for that. It's written. It's displayed, and it hurts because yeah, he's a legend. Yeah, he's well known around the club. We have built a relationship with him for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new age, new time. COVID has hit. Players have been hit with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had a real time to there was in the preseason with this team. Like there was no real time to like gel
Right.
together. And the season started happening quickly, and we have to put that all into perspective
Mm-hmm.
with where Frank Lampard is at the moment. We know he doesn't have experience enough for the Premier League, but we do need to understand. I mean, you look at Manchester United's manager. I mean, look at that. Just a few weeks ago, they were talking about sacking him, and now they're at the
Yeah.
top of the league. So you take those things and you try and figure out if that could be a way to get Frank Lampard getting these players to play, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not the identity of the football club. We're known for winning things. We're known for winning
Right.
trophies. So if we're not winning things, even though we were still in the Champions League round of 16, even though
Mm-hmm.
we're still in the FA Cup, I feel like we just pulled the trigger too quickly.
But okay, let me ask it this way. I think this is where all the rival fans, every fan in the football dome wants to know. Is this how should I say it? Is it an irony where there was rumblings of player power, players not happy, a little bit of banter behind that. They like Lampard as a person, but they don't feel like he's the right coach. Basically, the same things that most of the coaches that got fired while Lampard was played. The same thing was, those little chatter that we used to hear. So, why do you think that the players would say, "Well, we don't think that he's good enough"?
Do I think that there is player power? 100%.
Yeah.
There's always player powers. It's easier to get rid of a manager than it is to get rid of squads of players.
Squad player, yes.
All right, and the fact that you had players, Marcus Alonso,
Mm-hmm.
Rudiger, Jorginho, Kovacic. These are the players who have been used to starting, who have been used
Right.
to being on the field for big
Mm-hmm.
games. And you have now these younger players coming in, taking their spot. That is demoralizing. As a
Mm-hmm.
well-seasoned player to come in and know that your position has been taken by a new recruit,
Mm-hmm.
they felt, I believe, like it was the best for them to go, and whispers are coming out, and we'll find out towards
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in the mid or towards the end of the season that I believe some of these players have been talking to higher ups in the club, complaining
Mm-hmm.
that Frank Lampard is not giving them an opportunity to play. That Frank Lampard's ideas, that because they aren't fully embellished in it, that he's
Mm-hmm.
not giving them opportunity to perform, and then haven't been having opportunity to leave the club. Marcus Alonso is still a ghost at the club. There's been rumors about him leaving. Rudiger, yet again, was supposed to be leaving. He never left, but Frank Lampard started giving him an opportunity to play. Kovacic, I don't even know what happened to him. When he came in and was playing with us when Eden Hazard was there, we looked at Kovacic as the replacement. Like, no, he wasn't as great as Eden Hazard, but the way he was performing with him, we could see what he could be with more confidence. And this year, it looks like he has taken a back seat. And Jorginho, Jorginho was Sarri's player. Sarri brought him in. Sarri made Jorginho what he is today. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Sarri's style of play, who knows
Mm-hmm.
if Jorginho could even succeed in the Premier League? We know City wanted
Right.
him because he's a player who can make the team tick, but he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't offer anything on the defensive end in the position that he's playing in, and he doesn't have any speed or strength.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things that come into play when Frank Lampard is choosing a lineup.
Yeah.
But I do believe some players have spoken up. I do believe some of the higher players have felt that Frank Lampard doesn't know what he's doing, hasn't been
Mm-hmm.
able to build an identity, and you know, they're not going to sit here and rot on the bench. So I think that has caused a conflict in the club as a whole. So
I mean, listen to that. That reminds me of two coaches, Philip Scolari and Villaboas.
mhm.
Same thing when the players, when he came in, he was supposed to clean out the old players and kind of introduce the new guys. And he started playing the pretty game that Uncle Abraham wanted from Pep. But then the players that he had, that was not their style. John Terry was getting found out every single time.
Mhm.
And then what happened? He started benching Didier, started benching people, and then he got fired. And then I think who came in? Gudich, when Scolari left.
Gusevich,
Oh,
yeah.
no, yeah, got Gudich, yeah. So to us looking from outside, we were like, yeah, Frank, you were part of these guys who did this to all these coaches.
Yeah.
So now the same thing is happening to you, but the thing that is, this is where I always say that the inexperience of Frank came in. You were a player of the squad of that particular team, the same owner. You know how he is. So if you're going to be a manager for him, you need to put your ear on the ground. If something is not working and the players are not happy, you don't stay being stubborn, especially when you don't have enough pedigree to be able to say, okay, I'm doing what I want regardless. Fire me if you want, I'll get a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, if it's Pep, I understand. If it's Klopp, I understand. Even Tuchel, you see, they have pedigree. Frank don't have pedigree, but it seems like Frank gets stuck in his own ways that he forgot who Uncle Abraham is. You see what I'm saying? And to me, this is where the inexperience of Frank comes out. The fact that he's so naive. He thought that he was never going to get fired. I'm the legend of the club. You know, I did very well the year before with no signing and put him in the top 4. So he thought in his head of head, he really thought that me and Uncle Abraham, we are very good friends. But looking at it, everybody's saying that Tuchel is coming. And I told you from before, if Tuchel comes, I'm going to be looking at Chelsea differently. And what do you think about Tuchel?
Okay. Tuchel, right, has somewhat the same resume as Klopp, right? They both coach at Mainz. They both coach at BVB.
Yeah.
He plays a style that is old Tuchel. I'm talking about old Tuchel. Plays a style that's more aggressive. Okay, running on the ball. Exactly what Frank Lampard wanted from these players. Right. He said it in his press conference. They need to run. That's what Tuchel's going to be expecting from these players. If you look at Tuchel, why did he leave PSG? He had issues with politics, right? There's a lot of politics going around that club. He said, you know what? I don't want to deal with the politics. I just want to manage. That was a big reason why he lost his job at the club.
Right.
He's coming into Chelsea. Politics, right? There might not be politics on display, but behind closed doors, there's politics. So I'm in conflict. Can he get these players to play at their ability if he's already thinking in the back of his mind he doesn't want to deal with the politics side, and that comes with the job? He has a resume, which is understandable. He has never coached in the Premier League. He has watched the Premier League from afar. So this is going to be a challenging time for him, because him coming in and not knowing about the speed of play of the game, we're at a disadvantage, even though he does have experience of coaching top teams. But, his last display, when you look at PSG, how did they play? His biggest thing was he let his top players basically control the game. Give the ball to Neymar, give the ball to Mbappe. And if they didn't do anything, no one else did anything on that team. It's hard to judge it because PSG is known for winning the league. That's just what they do.
Right.
If they ever, when they don't win the league, it's most likely a blimp. So it's hard for me to see what he can do to get these players performing unless I see old Tuchel. If I see Tuchel of now, I can't answer that question because there's nothing to really show me that he can come in and get these players firing. A lot of these younger players, I hope, aren't going to just be forgotten because Billy Gilmore's display was amazing. Mason Mount's display was amazing. And those are two of the young rising stars for our team. And if they begin to take a backseat for some of these players who are whining because they're not getting playing time, it's going to be sad for us as a club.
Well, let's look at it this way. Earlier, you said the older players were kind of complaining. The politics, you could tell there's old and new,
Yeah.
But Tuchel, PSG, he went there because he wanted to win Champions League. It wasn't had to do with Ligue 1 because that one win itself for him. Now, talking about Tuchel, this is what I know about Tuchel. He's kind of naive. When Klopp left BFD, he thought, he's gone. Now it's my turn. The first year he did well. He did the same thing Klopp does, but he didn't Genga press as hard as Klopp did. His more was more controlled. Basically, his style is what Klopp is doing now.
Yeah, a little bit more sophisticated.
A little more sophisticated, yeah. So he doesn't go attack. He's more, he thinks.
Yeah.
But the thing with him is his issue is he thinks he's smarter than what he actually is. That is what always affects him. He always thinks, yes, you have done well at Mainz. You did well at BVB. PSG, he made it to the Champions League final, which is good. But like you said, that one, the superstar basically write themselves out there. It had nothing to do with his tactics. I don't remember any coach, maybe beside, the Don from Everton. He's probably the only coach that has coached PSG with a tactic. Homie from Arsenal, what's his name? Emery tried, he got beat up 6-0 at Newcastle. The thing with Tuchel is if those older players are going to complain, they are not going to get any chances as Tuchel's coming. Tuchel's more likes players that he can control. That's one of the reasons why he left PSG. PSG, he didn't really have the problem with the players. The issue was he couldn't control them. And Dortmund, he had full control. Mainz, he had full control. So when he's coming to Chelsea, he just want to coach. So the younger players are going to have more chances to play. Yes, he will give everybody a chance to prove themselves. But I guarantee you, some of these old cats are not going to get that many chances. I will be really, really surprised to see Alonso playing over Showa. Aspi, he's a head statement. He will play well regardless. He needs to rest. He's old. He's been playing. He has so many years in his legs. So maybe him and Thiago could exchange a few. Or if Reese needs a break, you bring in Aspi in. Because Aspi is those kind of backbone that you need. He doesn't need to play every game, but he needs to play.
Yeah.
So I believe Tuchel is going to make Chelsea a very strong team. The question is, he is going to. I believe he's going to make Chelsea very, very hard to beat. But the issue with Tuchel is when he's competing with teams that are on his level, he can never go over the bump. It's unfair to say it, but that's why it is, because the only experience he had is with Bayern and Dortmund. And the only person who has ever challenged Bayern is Klopp. You see? But when he went to PSG and he got challenged with Champions League, He made it to the final, his final year. I mean, his last year, but he still could not go over the bump.
Yeah.
So that it will be my concern with Tuchel coming to EPL. Him making top four, that I think that won't be a problem. But the question is he going to win any trophies?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's the main point of bringing him in. We're not, our mindset, the hierarchy's mindset isn't top four. The hierarchy's mindset is to win and challenge for number one or challenge for the title. That's where we're at currently. So if Tuchel can't come in and provide us challenging for top one or top two in the league, and closing that gap, he's not gonna last. He will have a very small stint at the club. And it's a lot of pressure right now. It's a lot of pressure right now because
that's true.
It sucks because history has shown that when new managers come into the club, they tend to turn things around. It tends to turn a corner. Players have new energy. They're knowing now that their spot isn't guaranteed.
Yeah.
So they start to play at another level, and it's like, well, where was this player under Frank Lampard? Why all of a sudden did the new manager come in whose style play mentally is the same of what he wants to see from his players, but he's able to execute that, and Frank Lampard wasn't. It just sucks because history repeats itself. I mean, you guys, right now, like, I don't even have my Chelsea board behind me. Like, this has been like the
man's soul is hurt. The man's soul is hurt.
This is not what I wanted to wake up to. This is not, Frank Lampard deserved a little bit more than this. I know we're not known for the club doing that, but to not give him an opportunity to turn things around, at least give him these last 3 games to make a statement.
The rumor was they were going to give him 3 games, right?
You said?
The rumor was they were going to give him three after the loss to Leicester. They say he had 3 games to pull himself up.
Yeah.
So when he won last game, I was like, okay, he made. The players will come to fight for him. But look at it this way, though. I don't think Abraham will fire Frank. I want to talk about the lady, Abraham's right-hand lady.
Marina?
Yes. I believe she's the one who told Abraham he has to go. That's what I believe. And she's most of the time she's been very ruthless with Chelsea. You see, Abraham hasn't been there for a while. She was the one who was running Chelsea. So I believe where she and a few of the hierarchies sat down and she presented maybe the complaints, where you guys are at the table, how you guys are looking. It doesn't look like you're going up. It looks more like in the league you're going down.
Yeah.
She presented all that to Abraham, and Abraham was like, okay, how much did we spend again? You see what I'm saying? Because
he didn't sign a checkbook. He didn't sign a checkbook for these players. We sold players and bought these
I
players.
agree.
So it wasn't like he decided, hey, I'm going to sign $200 million and here go buy these players. We got rid of players. We sold players on and brought players in. Marina's situation is that she okayed these players. So it looks bad on her as well when these players that are coming in are not performing. We spent $80 million on Havertz. Since the last time he had an action, we haven't seen him score. And he had COVID. We got to understand that. Like, people are trying to really judge him without understanding what COVID does to the body. It's not something that you just get hit hard. And Sadio Mane, like, these are he's an experienced player in the Premier League. So it's one of those where we didn't take any of that into perspective, and it frustrates me because this manager had a chance to really build the fan base and exceed it, because there's so many people who are in love with him as a player, and there's so many people who are in love with him becoming a top manager at the club. We couldn't even dream about this, having a player of ours being a manager of the club. Like this right here is something we wake up to and we thought we would, this was a dream. And it just
Finally,
happened so
you
suddenly.
guys, you guys thought you were Liverpool for 1 second. You had a story. No, but you made a good point. My question, and then you as concreted my question. It was, she okayed the signing. Frank made her look bad. Abraham is gonna look at her and be like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then she's be like, "Okay, I know that's your boy, that's your nephew, but look, we spent all this money, regardless of whether they signed it or not. That was money that he signed a while ago that he profited from. So it's still his money, right?" So he looked at it and like, "Okay, no, give him time. I guarantee you, he probably gave Lampard more time than what Maria would have given, because Maria was looking bad. Maria has been flawless. Even though you guys were not winning anything, she still had Chelsea in the top four. With the bench, she still had Chelsea in the top four. So, I mean, she was making deals, like good deals.
Yeah, she's great at orchestrating trades.
She's great at what she does. So this is what is a blip on her record right now, and she's like, "No, I can't let that go." And I guarantee you, Lampard would have probably, if it was up to Uncle, he would have left him there. But right now, she is the new Abraham. The people are always talking about Abraham. No. Abraham is getting old now. Right now he just want to chill. He won his Champions League. He won a whole gang of EPL, FA Cup, League Cups. The only thing that he fired a lot of people for was because they were not giving him the trophy that he so desired, and that was the Champions League. He won that. So now he's a little more relaxed. And now with FFP, he can spend the money that he used to spend. So he doesn't have the itchy trigger or that he used to have back there, because he's like, I'm spending 400 million and the best you can do is just a FA Cup. No, bye-bye. I don't care how, Ancelotti, Scolari, I don't care. Bye. Mourinho, thank you for the league last year, but this year you suck. Bye-bye. Yeah. You see what I mean? Now he's a little more relaxed. Maria is a whole different kettle of fish. If anybody needs to be scared of anybody, she's the one that you all need to be afraid of, because she doesn't play. Her record was flawless until Frank. And remember, she also co-signed for Frank to come into the team. And I gave you money, so you make me look bad. And as Chelsea is known for firing coaches, she was like, well, yeah, people will talk trash about us for a couple weeks, and then when Tuchel comes in, he starts winning, we jump up to the top 4, top 3. Frank will be an afterthought. But this is where I've been saying Frank, the unexperience kicked in. What you said is right. Frank coming in, ex-player, Pep, Zidane, that same thing, but he was not ready. It's not about what you did last year. It's what are you doing for me lately?
Yeah.
AD, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was not ready. And there's a good thing that John Terry also didn't follow him to there. Because Terry, I think for some reason, Terry was like, if I go and we get fired, that's our chance. That's it. Frank is never coming back to Chelsea. Unless Chelsea get relegated and then he goes into the championship and then try to bring you guys back up. Right now, Frank has damaged his status of coaching a top 6 team.
I don't believe that he won't be back at the club. I believe that he will find another job quickly, just because teams kept an eye on him and they saw what he did with the Chelsea team he had his first season.
Right.
I think he'll go out, he'll get experience. I believe there will be a reunion. I do believe there will be a reunion.
Of what sort?
I
Of
believe
us, so
because coaches don't last long at the club. Tuchel won't be at the club if he makes it for 2 to 3 years. 2 years, he'll be gone. There'll be another.
but
There'll be another manager who will come in and fulfill his position. If Frank
but
Lampard,
when
if
are you
Frank,
thinking? When do you think Frank is coming back? Frank is not Jose.
I mean, you're talking about a manager who's just began his career. I think you're overlooking
He,
what he could be. It's not. I'm not
I'm
saying
saying
he's Jose Mourinho. I'm definitely not saying that. But he's a young manager. He does. If he goes out and he gets some more experience, what is the likes of him not coming back and bringing John Terry at the same time? This is something to where we can build a spine.
this is the part where fans become so they like that the nostalgia of Frank and John Terry. No. See, right now, if you ask any Liverpool fans, say if Klopp leaves today, do you want Gerrard on the hot seat? I guarantee you, out of 100, 95% will say hell no,
That
because
they
he's not ready.
if they want Gerrard back, but Gerrard is going to take Klopp's position, right?
Gerrard will take Klopp position in about 3 or 4 years,
Okay.
but not right now.
Yeah.
Right now, he's not ready. And
Yeah.
that's one of the good things that Gerrard did. That's what everybody was saying to Frank. He should have stayed at Derby or go to another team in the EPL, which is in the bottom, because you have to learn how to deal with adversity. Klopp knows how to deal with adversity. He coached Mainz. He's the one who brought Mainz to the Bundesliga. And if you read his story, the guy said we failed 3 times. One thing he was there, same point, he lost by goals.
Yeah.
So
But
Gerrard,
sorry to cut you off. What coach do you think that Chelsea could have brought in with a transfer ban, knowing that they'll get sacked if they don't get these players to perform, and bring in these academy players to play? What coach do you think could have came in and done that?
come on. You had to play coaches who you have wasn't it? Rogers was ready to go.
Rodgers was not going to join a rebuilding team when he was already coaching what, Celtic?
No. Yeah, he was leaving Celtic.
Yes.
Remember when he left? He left if Chelsea, because Chelsea, you guys already knew you were going to fire.
Sorry.
I don't say sorry. If you guys had told Rogers, wait 1 more year, come to Chelsea because this guy is leaving, he would have stayed. Because remember, he's a student of Chelsea. That's Mourinho's kid.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? You
Yeah.
have Benitez, but you fans all think that you know better than Benitez. You could have got Benitez back. He is the perfect person to sustain the club. And then just tell him, okay, we want you there 2-3 years to get us to be sustainable, and then we move you on. Just like you guys did the other one.
Did Benitez ever bring an academy player to the first team and played him?
Benitez? Yeah.
Who?
When he was in Newcastle, that's what he was doing.
At Chelsea, did he ever do that?
At Chelsea, he just because you guys who did you fire? Then he showed up. You fired your another legend, the one who won the Champions League. What's his name?
Robert Di Matteo.
Matteo.
Yeah.
What did Benitez do? He came in, hold down the fort, won the European Cup, whether it's a Europa or not. He won it for you guys, and then he moved on. Then Mourinho came in. What did Mourinho do? Dropped it, and then the following year won it. But the thing is, there were other coaches who were ready that would have done the same job that Frank Lampard. Remember, the year before, all you fans were complaining, talking about that league last year was whack. Liverpool just ran. There was no competition. So that means any coach would have come in and did a good job. The idea was Frank was not ready. And that Frank never faced any adversity. And that's the thing with EPL. When you face adversity, look at Ole.
Look where Ole's at. Look where Ole's at.
But remember, Ole was already a coach. He had gotten the team relegated. He was winning the Austrian. Was it Austrian or what? I forgot where he was before he came to. It wasn't the Austrian because that's RB Strasbourg was winning that league. Yeah, the team where he was winning. So in a way, he has a face adversity, and when he came to Man U job was just for him to hold, don't let the boat sink. Just keep it floating. Bring the nostalgia back. Bring the fans part, and he did. And then when things started moving left and right, he still made it to the top four. He came in third.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? But you can't compare Man U to Chelsea because Man U players are way much more experienced than your players, and they've been there for a long time. So with him, all he needed to do was cut out the noise, and when he did, it started working. And the player he brought in that helped him the most is Penendez.
Yeah,
you see what I mean? So
what did Ole win for Manchester United?
Nothing.
Did he get Manchester United to any finals?
No, he's always been losing all the semifinals.
Okay, Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard's first year with Chelsea, he got them to the FA Cup final. And that's with academy players. You can't go down any Chelsea history to see any academy players being promoted from any of the coaches that ever came into the league.
But there's a thing though. When it comes to cup competition, if you ride your luck well, you can win it. 2005.
Luck.
Look at 2005 Liverpool, the team that played that. Have you checked the AC Milan team? Those players, Gerrard and Carragher will be on the bench at AC Milan if they're lucky. Inzaghi, Shevchenko, Paolo Maldini, Kaká.
Gerrard was fit somewhere in that team.
Gerrard maybe. Carragher will not.
Yeah.
And those were the two best players on our team that won the Champions League. You see what I'm not saying yes, luck was part of it.
Yeah.
But you see, people always focus on the 2005, the final. But you have to follow the storyline that from day one. Remember, we almost missed it. Gerrard had to save us against Olympiacos, and that's just to get to the quarterfinal. To the playoffs.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So you need those people. And Lampard, I texted you this. He needed some old head in his backroom staff, and he didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if I was Lampard, I would have my uncle with me. I would have had Redknapp with me in there. When things were going rough, you just say, "Hey, uncle, you deal with them." You see what I mean? He's a politician.
Yeah.
Harry Redknapp is the best politician there is. You know what I mean? If he had Harry there, Harry would have been bringing the old guys. He would have did that that diplomatic thing, and then things would have been smoothed out. But the fact that anybody out there who was in his backroom staff, they didn't have that Chelsea level of experience. You don't have anybody on a high profile.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody. And look at what's the name? Aston Villa. They put Terry in there. Terry is he's not a high profile coach, but he's a high profile player who has done it. So when Dean Smith is talking, and they be like, Terry, go over there and be like, hey, listen, I won the Champions League, even though I didn't play, but I won that thing. Yeah. I beat Barcelona at Nou Camp.
You
see what I mean?
Defenders in the Premier League has ever seen too.
Exactly. So he could be able to talk that talk.
Yeah.
In the backroom staff, it's not all about the person who is great at coaching. It's the person who can talk to the players, because the coach is always the bad guy.
Yeah.
The coach is the parent.
Yeah.
The coach is not supposed to be out here. Klopp, he put his hand around them, but he yelled at him.
Yeah.
He get out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Frank made mistakes going into the job. He should have never taken it. Yeah. Because imagine this way, if he never took the job, 3-4 years, he would have been the Chelsea coach.
Yeah, but
because Tuchel will get fired.
This job it comes when it comes. You can't turn down the opportunity. You ask any pundit that's spoken about it, they will tell you, from Rio Ferdinand to Neville, they've all said Frank Lampard had to take this job. There is no way he could have turned this down. It was at a time period where we needed him. We had just gone through the experience with Sarri. We needed our fan base to engage with the club. And when Frank Lampard came in, We had all full engagement from the fan base to the club hierarchy. Everyone was on board for this. So this is something we needed desperately. And I'm not going to sit here and downgrade what he has done, because he took a team full of kids and got them to top four and put them in the Champions League spot. So we were able to purchase these players.
You can't use that as an excuse, because Arsene Wenger did that for 20 years straight.
I mean, Arsene Wenger, yet again, you're gonna talk about a coach who had way more experience that wasn't able to perform.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Time, though, right? Arsene Wenger had time. Arsenal gave him time. We're in a totally different club. We're at a
I'm going by the point that you said that he used kids.
Yeah.
Like Sir Alex Ferguson said, if you are good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say experience plays a lot of part. It's like you guys, they brought somebody who is going to bring the fan base together.
Yeah.
But I see they accept that their coach, he had experience. The only experience they didn't have was a high level experience. That's why when the Robert made the road, he was struggling.
Yeah.
But eventually, the players pull him, Fernandez pull him through.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And that is what Lampard made the mistake. Lampard, Chelsea is not going anywhere. If you get the experience and you come back, they will love you. Because at that time, the fans will be back in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you could say COVID messed everything up.
Oh, it definitely, 100%. 100%. I think if Frank Lampard had an opportunity to have a preseason with this team, we would see some changes.
Tuchel and Chelsea is going to be fun game. Chelsea is going to be a fun team to watch, especially if the fans comes in. But like I said, when he's challenged, he does not make over the hump. He will make Chelsea maybe 2-3-4, 2-3-4, 2-3-4, but he's never going to win that thing, because when he goes against somebody like Pep is going to outsmart him. Tuchel is literally one step better than Nagelsmann from RB Leipzig.
Mm.
You see what I mean? And I was hoping Manchester United get Nagelsmann, because that game would have been so much fun. They would score 10 and concede 9.
Yeah.
But I believe Chelsea is in a good hand with Tuchel. But I don't know how many trophies you're going to win.
Yeah.
And like you said, how long he's going to stay,
mm-hmm.
Will be a big factor.
He won't get longer than 2 years, guaranteed.
I agree.
It's a revolving door.
I agree.
And regardless if he brings trophies, he won't be able to maintain the standards.
And that's the thing. And I don't think he may win a League Cup, maybe FA Cup. I doubt it that he's going to win Champions League, because even with PSG, he barely made it.
Yeah.
The league is, you get a good form, you keep going. But the thing is, like I said, he's very naive. Sometimes his ego gets in the way. But moving on to Liverpool is the same thing. Right now, everybody's trying to get at the owners, which is always the easiest people to blame.
Yeah.
Why are you blaming the owners? That's what I don't get. Do we need a center back? Yes, we needed that in December.
Yeah.
December 31st, we should have gotten some news saying that Liverpool have that on loan or purchase a center back.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, though. Club does not talk to the owner directly. Yeah, he has conversation with them. The person between club and the owners is who? Edwards. Edwards, why haven't you told the owners that we need a center back? Press the issue. Tell them your golden goose is not happy right now because we need a center back. The owners will give you the money. They know Liverpool is a self-sustaining club. So they have money. All they do is, yes, use the money or don't use the money. The thing that happens with Liverpool is they plan for a year ahead. But the thing is, you knew January is the hardest time to buy a player. So when VVD went down in October, you should have gotten a backup ready. pay that money off. You know, okay, how much is Rudiger? 30 million. He has cash. 30 million. Let's sign the contract. January 1, he's coming to Liverpool. You don't wait till Gomez also gets injured. Now everybody was like, oh, so you don't have any senior center back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? That 30 million for Rudiger is what? 55 million.
Exactly.
That is what we are stuck in right now.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to help us. Everybody wants to charge us at a premium. They probably, even loan players, they're telling us, no, you have to buy him.
Mm-hmm.
Or loan to buy, and you're going to pay this. And that is what the market is right now. Yeah. It's not that the owners don't want to pay. And the players that the owners want, nobody wants to release him. Upamecano, there's no way Leipzig is going to release him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking.
Yeah, if you pay more, which makes no sense.
Talking premium.
The guy is going to be 45 million in summer. In what, 4 months?
Yeah, and there's a lot of clubs competing for him too.
Exactly. So it's just going to be him choosing where he wants to go. And wherever he's going to go is going to be cheap.
Yeah.
Right now, you have to pay 80 million just to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Leipzig will look at it, well, if we get knocked out of the Champions League, how much money are we losing?
Yeah.
So that they're going to factor that part in.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, Liverpool is just stuck in a rock and a hard place because nobody wants to do business with us.
Yeah.
You know? And we have a lot of players that needed to go, but nobody wanted to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they wanted to buy them, they want to buy them cheap.
I mean, who's trying to, who's really trying to buy Shaqiri? Who's trying to buy a injury-prone Chamberlain? I know Barcelona wanted, or rumors of them wanting Wijnaldum because Coleman's a fan of his. He didn't go. I know Milner's. I mean, he's there. He's already at that age. So you guys have a lot of dead weight to think about over the summer.
That's true.
It's at time you might lose a proper forward, a proper winger with either Sadio Mane or Salah. One of those players won't be there next year.
Right, that's true. I mean, the thing is, the owners have a big plans for the summer.
Move your camera up a little bit, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The owners have big plans for the summer. We know that. The issue is, we don't have a summer if we don't get a center back because we're going to fall off the top four, and then all those players don't want to come to play. Mm-hmm. Now, even if they come in, you have to pay them astronomical wages for them to miss a Champions League season.
Yeah.
So right now, it's just that it makes no sense for fans. Everything's like, oh, FSG out, FSG. We have the best owners right now in football. Their business model is the reason why AC Milan is doing well, because they came to Liverpool and learned. Manchester United, they don't want to say, but they learned it through. That's our same model as Manchester United is learning. That's why they didn't fire Ole. Arsenal is learning that, except that they chose the wrong coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the problem is we plan for the future without having a backup plan. No, we had the backup plan, but the backup plan is nobody wants to do business.
Yeah.
Or without us spending way too much money.
Yeah.
Now, if the summer comes around, now let's say we are in the top four and the owners do not do big things, I will be the one purchasing the FSG out, flying over Anfield every single day to get them out. Because right now, Liverpool is such a huge brand. You are tied to Nike and LeBron. You are way too big not to do big things. They missed their mark when they won the Champions League and they didn't buy any player. Mm-hmm. Granted, Klopp won the league. I mean, he ran away with it. COVID hit. So all the plans that they planned for winning the league didn't happen.
I mean, it's regardless if you win a Champions League, you win a league, you always get better. You never stay stagnant with the same players, because what happens? You're seeing your players mentally already saying, "We've won. What is there more to compete for?" You bring more players in to continue competing with them. Because if you look down your squad, I mean, who can you take off the bench at the moment right now and say, well, can provide the same type of service that Sadio Mane does?
Nobody.
Nobody. Salah. If Diego Jota is gone, nobody. So those are things where Liverpool have to really understand. Like, even though you win, you need to still be bringing in players to bring that competition. So then the fluidity in the team continues to evolve, and you guys are not stagnant. Because these injuries happen. We all know that no one was prepared for this season, but injuries happen regardless. And if you're only gonna hold on to what you have, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So
I mean, the thing is, it's not even the defense. We haven't shipped out many goals. This is the first time we shipped out 2 goals against Manchester United in the FA Cup.
You guys are losing to Southampton. This is
that's off an experienced defender, Trent.
Yeah.
You know,
your inexperienced defender was also exposed as well.
Yeah, but the problem with Liverpool is we're not scoring goals.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ship a goal, you have to score 3 or 2. You see, the problem is because we have our 2 main midfielders playing center backs, the midfield is gone. And even if you watch the highlights of how Fabinho made the mistake to tackle Cavani, you could tell that guy's not a center back. You don't rush a player who's on the line like that.
Yeah.
You know, you just wait, he turns, and then you put your foot in there.
Yeah.
But he rushed in, and then you foul him, and then, you know, Fernandes do what Fernandes does.
Yeah.
So now is affecting us because the midfielders are not there. The right midfielders are not there, especially Fabinho. You see what I mean? Fabinho would defend the midfield before the ball gets to VVD. And then if he goes over VVD, you got the best goalie, you know, money can buy out there. So it's just that we having an issue right now. But I'm gonna say this because I know we need to wrap up. There were some nice things that Liverpool were doing during the game.
Yeah, you guys controlled.
We looked like, you could tell, like remember I was telling you, go back to what made you successful. Press him. And when we started playing well, Man U was shook. But the problem is that right side of ours.
They were more clinical than you guys were.
Yeah, when they put that ball over Reece, the guy can, you know, there's the same Reece that got beat by a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And if Reece is a young player himself. He's 19 years old.
Who beat him?
Who beat him? Barry from Aston Villa.
No,
if you remember the goal.
Who from Manchester United exposed Reece?
Oh, Rashford.
Didn't I tell you that? The couple of times we talked where I told you that if Rashford gets the opportunity to go one-on-one with him, he was going to finish him.
And the thing was, it wasn't even one-on-one. It's just the ball came in
and he beat him for speed.
He missed the clearance.
Oh, he hit it with a little dead leg, like his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a long pass. It was a beautiful pass. It came over the top.
Yeah.
So he's standing there. I mean, 2 of the goals were almost the same.
Yeah. But that is all due that's all due to his positioning, right?
Yes. We were pressing way too high, and Richie made no sense to me. And I was like, why are we pressing so high? You know, one of your center back is slow. I mean, Sunday I was furious. But then when I watched the game again, I calmed down. I'm like, okay, right now, everybody's frustrated at Liverpool because we need center backs so we could move certain players up. But you can't blame the 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
The guy is playing against a world-class player, Rashford. You know, Rashford he's young, but he has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
You know, we played I was excited for about, I would say 55 minutes of the game. Liverpool, it looked like the old Liverpool
Yeah.
Just like we say, clinical. Even Bobby was having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They exposed Maguire so many times.
Yeah.
Even Salah was doing well. And that's without Mane. And when Mane came in, it got even way much better.
Yeah.
So we see if Matip was playing, we would have won the game 2-1. Or even 2-0, because the goals that they scored shows the inexperience of our center backs. Even Fabinho, as good as he's been, position-wise.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But right now, Liverpool, we okay. It's just we frustrated.
Yeah.
We frustrated. That's the only thing that is we could see from the coach. Is going towards the fans. Is going towards the players. We're just frustrated. But yeah, we will see what happens. Thursday is gonna be another baptism of fire.
Yeah.
And personally, I like when we play better teams because we play better than Burnley and West Brom. Oh my God.
Yeah. That is a game where you really have to get your tactics correct, because they're going to stay compacted. You have to really find a way to break them down. And at the same time, it's tiring for the players, because it's a lot of movement going on, and there's a lot of things that don't work, and you have to find ways to open up the play and bring teams out. If you don't score goals, it's a long game. Once you score goals, you can play your game, but if you don't score goals,
and the thing was, when we scored, you could tell the mood of the team changed.
Yeah.
So even though we lost to Man U, no Liverpool fan wants to lose to Man U ever.
Yeah.
But 2 of their goals, it was just like lack of experience of our center backs, including the 19-year-old and the midfielder playing as a center back. And Trent, if you watch the game the first time, you're like, Trent was not doing well. But then when you watch it again, you understand he can't push forward when he has a 19-year-old who has no speed right beside him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So he's like, okay, I got to take care of this kid. Now Fabinho is like, I got to take care of this kid, and I got to take care of my job.
Yeah.
So even our goalie was not 100. This is probably one of the lowest game I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
But it's not his fault. He's not supposed to be running around playing sweeper.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And Klopp needs to take a little bit of the blame, but there's nothing he can do because he's just using the players he got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man U used their full squad. That's like the league squad.
Mm-hmm.
We made 5 changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I see Liverpool, I see good things are going. Good teams are going. Tottenham, 2-0.
You hear it now, Tottenham 2-0. Mourinho is going to take the L.
2-0. I've never wanted my team to lose, ever.
Yeah.
I call it as it is. And if we lose, you come back and see me out here pulling my hair out.
Well, that'll be a sight to see. So I just want to thank you again, Archie.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And talking to the fans. And
man, Chelsea fans, chin up, man. You got a good coach coming.
Yeah, well, we're going to be optimistic.
You got a good coach coming.
We're hoping, we will see an upwards trajectory. And, I just want to say yet again to Frank Lampard, it was a joy having you coaching our team and what you have done for the club and bringing up the academy players. This is something we will never forget. And we are wishing you the best on your journey. We know there's more things to come from you. This is not going to be easy for us as fans to deal with, but we'll rally together, and you will always be a leader, legend in our hearts and in the club.
Your fans are split, though.
Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. Your fans are split. Some of them wanted him out.
I mean, at the end of the day, we know where he sits at. We know his aura at the club will never be forgotten. He will always be known as the legend at our club, regardless if his performances for the team wasn't what everyone expected. That
But he
is
wasn't playing. That's where some of you fans were getting it confused. He wasn't the player anymore. He was the coach. That's a whole different level.
definitely.
You
But
know, the player, frankly.
he's not tarnished. His what he has done for the club is not tarnished. He's not looked at
No,
a
no, no.
failure at the club.
Maybe in 10 years he will come back. Maybe. He
Yeah.
won a championship somewhere. You know, even right now, like I said, if Gerard leaves Rangers, I want him to go coach a place where he will face a few down spiral things where we want to see how he deals with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you can't just always get the coach that wins all the time, because when things go bad, they don't know how to handle it. And I'll give you the perfect example. Pep. When Pep first came to City, he was struggling. He couldn't figure it out because he has never struggled like that before.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you need coaches who have struggled where they figure a way out. Because a lot of times, I mean, Rodgers, look at what Brendan Rodgers is doing. He got fired by Liverpool. Went to Celtics. I mean, it was easy, but look what he's doing now, Leicester.
Leicester won't be top 4. Leicester won't.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that because you guys are in the bottom half of the league, right?
I'm just saying Leicester won't be top 4. Leicester won't be Champions League spot. They will be in Europa League. When it comes down to it.
That's the same. You know what? I believe. Remember, I said it's either Tuchel or Hasselhoff, or I forgot his name, the Southampton coach.
Yeah.
Hasselhoff, yeah. That coach, if Klopp leaves today, he's the one that I want. Because he plays with energy. He makes his players work. That's the difference between him and Leeds, is he doesn't run his players just for the sake of running like Leeds does.
Mm-hmm.
It is a strategic run where defense don't go past this line. Midfielders, make sure we have 2 holding midfielders waiting. And okay, the guys up front, you guys do the running.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guys in the back will take care of the back. You know?
Yeah.
But Leeds is like, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, that energy they have, they run for days. And that's the thing. They lose 6-0, they're still running.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if he were to tweak, but that guy is never going to tweak. But if he tweaks, his team is going to do way better than what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not what he's known for.
Now that guy, he's a great coach. But another coach who has never won anything either, too. So
we'll probably be seeing whoever is going to be taking over as manager. We should be hearing something from him tomorrow for a press conference. So tune in, you guys. We'll see what's going from there. Thank you again, Archie. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, boss.
All right, you guys. We're out.